Hey guys, how's it going? Let me know in the comments the comment section in the chat where you guys are from. We're gonna get going here in just a minute. I just want to make sure that everything's set up because I'm using a new setup today. But I hope you guys are all having a great Monday. Like I said, we will get going in just a second here. And let me know, like I said, where you guys are tuning in from in the chat. Mm, mm, mm. Cool, awesome. I'm actually from Long Island myself. Coolio, let's get this going here. Mm, mm, mm. Awesome, perfect. I am going to begin to share my screen. Let me know, guys, if you guys are able to see this. Share screen. We're gonna go entire screen. Again, let me know in the pinned comment if you guys are able to see this. Awesome. Texas, Michigan, Vancouver. I love it. Awesome, perfect. It looks like you guys can see my screen now. I have it up on my phone also. Cool. So today's live is going to be focusing on how the YouTube algorithm works today and secrets for you to be able to maximize your growth in 2025. And I don't want to just talk to you guys as somebody that has over 800,000 subscribers. I actually created a new channel and restarted for you guys. So most of you probably don't know this, but I have another channel, Rob the AI Guy, and so far this year, I've been able to get over 3 million views, been able to get over 200,000 watch hours, over 60,000 subscribers. I think the channel's at like 67 or 68,000 subscribers now. I've made over $20,000 in ad revenue just from AdSense alone, and that's only continuing to increase. And in this live, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that you need to do. Again, this is what is working today. This isn't what worked 6 years ago. This isn't what worked last month. This is what's working today in order to grow, start new channels. Because again, I didn't just want to talk to you guys as somebody that already had a lot of subscribers. I literally wanted to practice what I preach, start a new channel so that I would be able to do this live for you. In addition to working for me, it's also helped this channel gain over 40,000 subscribers. Dr. Jones right here had literally uploaded over 1,000 videos before we started working together and was struggling. He started to implement what I'm going to share with you in this live, skyrocket his growth. The same thing with Mike right here. I actually begged Mike literally for years to get on YouTube because he was big on TikTok, he was big on Instagram, he was even big on Facebook. I was like, Mike, you need to be on YouTube. I'm telling you, it will completely change your business. And it has for him. In addition to that, this also worked for Healthy Emmy. And again, I want to really highlight something here. If we look at this creator, focus on long form content. Mike, focus on long form content. Emmy has been focused on shorts. In fact, she's literally gotten hundreds of millions of views from shorts. So this works no matter what niche you're in. This works no matter what background you have. Doesn't matter how many times you've failed before in the past. Again, look at Mike, over 5,000 videos. Dr. Jones, over 1,000 videos. So if you're one of those people that gets discouraged, if you post a video and it doesn't do well, this is really going to help you. Now, in addition to that, we did need to thank today's live sponsor, which is going to be Metricool. You could get started at the pinned comment in the chat with Metricool. I actually got you guys 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert. I'm going to share a little bit more about Metricool later on in the live because they're one of the secrets actually for me to be able to grow this channel so quickly and be able to make so much money from it in such a short period of time. So change number one that I wanted to highlight here is choosing what niche you're going to go after. And what you'll notice here is I have a lot of negative things to say about niche. So one, you should never enter a dying niche. I'm going to show you exactly what a dying niche looks like in just a minute. Two, you should never enter a niche that you're not interested in, because here's the deal. If you're not genuinely interested in whatever you're going to be making content about, somebody else is going to beat you. They're going to make better content than you. They're going to put in more effort than you. They're going to come across better on camera, or if it's faceless, they're just going to have more audience appeal. So you need to make sure that it's something you're interested in, because the last thing that you want is to get known for something on the internet, start a business on the internet, start making money for something on the internet, and then you not actually like that thing. It'll be the same as you staying in that 9 to 5 that you hate. And then also, this one is really big. I want you to never think that a niche is too crowded. There is no such thing as that. That does not exist. If a niche has a lot of people in it and a lot of those people are doing well, that means that that is a ripe niche that you can go in and disrupt. So I actually wanted to walk through exactly how you can determine what your niche size is going to be? So it's very simple. You're just going to come over to YouTube and you are going to type in a few of your competitors here. For example, let's say that we were doing this for Mike the Credit Guy. If I come over here and type in something like how to increase credit score, what we're going to be looking for, and this is what you should be looking for when you're trying to come up with your niche, is you want to grab a bunch of people that are going to show up for the search term that you ultimately want to end up ranking for. So as we could see in Mike's situation, there are a few people here. Now, if we look at this creator right here and come into his channel stats, he's growing. He's gotten 37% more views in the last 28 days versus the 28 days before. If we look at somebody like Daniel right here, we can see that he is down a little bit, but if we go last 3 months, he's just down about 8%. Again, might just be that he stopped uploading. And if we look at his actual content, we can see that he doesn't upload as seriously as. And if we look at somebody like Carlton, again, 40% increase. So what did you notice here? Carlton, 40% increase. This creator, almost a 40% increase. So clearly this niche is growing. If you look at your niche, you look at your competitors and you're not seeing that it's growing like this, that might be a sign that your niche could be something that is dying. And I cannot emphasize this enough. The niche that you choose to go in on YouTube is going to have a huge effect on how quickly you grow, how many views you get, and whether or not there's actually an opportunity. Again, think about it like this. If you were starting a business today, you probably wouldn't start a magazine business. You probably wouldn't start a newspaper business. Why? Because we have the internet and nobody's focused on that. You need to think about your YouTube channel and your niche the same exact way, and you can change this at any point in time. Maybe you've been approaching the wrong niche or you've been talking about the wrong thing. You can always change that. So please don't get discouraged and don't think that you chose the wrong niche and wasted a bunch of time. Now, change number 2 is going to be topic choice. So the first thing you need to make sure of is that you never make a video that's low views per hour. I'm going to explain to you in just a minute what that actually means. Secondly, you need to never just have an idea and make a video. In fact, this is one of the worst things that you could possibly do when you're making content on YouTube. And this is one of the biggest traps that small YouTubers fall into. They literally just bounce from idea to idea to idea, keep making videos, and none of them end up doing well. And then third, you should never think that you're just copying what everybody else is doing. Here's how I explain it to all of my clients. YouTube, social media now, it's all interest based. What does that mean? You get shown content based off of what you're interested in. If you watch content about the Mets, who are playing horribly right now, you get shown more Mets content. If you watch content about crime, you get shown more crime content. Same thing with football, the same thing with anything, you get shown more of that content. So social media today works more like the news than like social media of the past. If you think about it, if you go to any news channel, and again, I'm not getting political here or anything, but if you go to Fox, you go to CNN, you go to MSNBC, you open up the Wall Street Journal, you go to any news article, what you are going to find is that they are all talking about the same exact thing, but with a different bias or a different twist. YouTube is the same exact way. What you're going to notice is that all of your competitors, a lot of times, talk about the same things. They just do it a little bit differently, or they have a different take. And that's where the real difference comes in. So when it comes to topic choice, here's what you need to make sure that you're focusing on. Again, we come over to somebody like Charlie. Let's say, for argument's sake, that we determined he was a competitor of ours. What we would want to do is come in here and view his trending videos. Now, what this is going to show us is how many views per hour these different videos are getting. So if we look at this, of his top 6 videos, 3 of them are asking rich digital nomads, or asking rich renters, or asking strangers how much money they make. So clearly, that's the format that's working for him. If I wanted to compete with him and if I was advising Mike, I would tell him to make more content like that. If we come over to somebody like Carlton, do the same exact thing, view trending videos, we're going to see the same thing. This video right here, a lot of views. This video, a lot of views per hour. This video, a lot of views per hour. And what you want to focus on is you want to have multiple choices with your content. Now, I want you to notice something. We haven't even spoke about actually making a video yet. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you do is choose the correct niche. The second is you want to make sure you're only making content about topics that have a high views per hour. If we come over to one of your competitors' channels, for example, let's come over to videos right here, and we scroll down a little bit and we see right here, this video only has three views per hour. That is a sign that you should not waste your time making a video on that topic. Why? Because it's not a good topic for you to make content on. Instead, you should make content on this or this or this or this. And remember, views per hour is going to be relative. Depending on your niche, the size of your niche, that's going to determine what views per hour is going to be good for you to be getting. So don't look at somebody like Mr. Beast and say, hey, he's getting 50,000 views an hour. I'll never be able to compete with that if you're not in his niche and you're uploading about crypto, you're uploading about cooking or uploading about something like that. By the way, I'm going to get to a live Q&A at the end of this live, so please make sure you end up sticking around for that. Now, we come back over here. The next thing that we need to talk about is going to be content type. So you've chosen the right niche. You've chosen the right topic that you're going to upload on. Now you need to figure out what content type you want to actually create. What I'm talking about here is, are you going to make a long form video or are you going to make a short? And what I want to make sure that you never do is, one, never go against what YouTube is showing. Two, never decide what your audience should be into. I see so many creators do this. It's one of the biggest mistakes that you could possibly make. You need to think about it like this, and this is how I think about it. I worship at the altar of what my audience is actually interested in. I don't decide what platform you guys want to grow on. In fact, I don't care what platform you want to grow on. If you want to grow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to help you do those things. Why? Because it's up to you what you want to grow on. Also, I don't get to decide what kind of videos you're interested in. I know if I put algorithm in the title, I end up getting more views, but I can't decide that. In addition to that, a lot of my audience now watches YouTube Shorts, so I can't argue with the data. So let's actually walk through this. Let's say that I was going to be making a video about how to add a thumbnail to a YouTube short. If I came over here, how to add a thumbnail on a YouTube short, here's what I am going to notice. I see one long form video here. It's got 672,000 views. I see another long form video. It's got 150,000 views. I see some more long form videos here, but now we get into these shorts. Now look at this. These shorts, 380,000 views. My video, over 1 million views, 400,000 views, 280,000 views, 140,000 views. So what I'm noticing here is that YouTube shorts for this topic end up getting way more reach. Now, again, this comes back to what type of content is getting you the most views. And again, this is going to be different depending on your niche. In fact, I want to show you two different channels. If we come over to my main channel right here, the channel that you're watching this on, and I come over here and I look at long form content, one thing I am going to notice is that long form content over the last 365 days has been going down, going back up. Totally normal. It's a seasonality thing. Now, if I look at shorts, I can see that shorts has just been skyrocketing. And that's one of the reasons I'm focusing a lot on shorts, but I'm not ignoring long form content. I'm doing both of them. And you need to determine whether or not that's right for your niche. I see a lot of bad advice go around on YouTube that says something along the lines of, you shouldn't upload shorts. It's going to ruin your channel. You shouldn't go live. It's going to ruin your channel. It couldn't be further from the truth. You need to be uploading just what your audience is actually interested in. Now, change number 4 is you need to make sure you're standing out. So you've chosen the right niche. You've chosen the right topics. You know what kind of content you're actually going to make based on what your audience is interested in. Now, you need to stand out, and you need to make sure you're never recreating the wheel with this, and you never make a video before your title and thumbnail. Again, I want to make note here. We haven't discussed the actual video itself yet at all. This is obviously a video about growing on YouTube. We haven't even gotten to the actual video because 99% of the work of growing on YouTube, of understanding the YouTube algorithm, and of actually creating something that your audience wants to watch is done before you ever even make a video. In fact, the video in a lot of cases is the least important part. So if we come over here again, I want to prove this to you with real examples. If I come over here and I type in Dr. Jones DC, I'm going to show you proof of this. So we come through his channel right here. If we look at all this content he was making, he was not getting a lot of reach. This video did well, but the rest of them, 500 views, 100 views, 600 views. And what do you notice? A lot of these thumbnails aren't really that good. Now, this is literally the video that I started working with him. 63,000, 15,000, 28,000, 168,000, 92,000, 6,500, 4,400, 10,000, 63,000, and again, they just keep going off. These videos are doing great, and the reason that his videos are doing great is because we changed the thumbnail and we changed the title. But most importantly, what we did is we stopped recreating the wheel. So if we come over to this video right here and we pause this, on Ozempic, only buy these 20 groceries every week. If we do a search for this on YouTube, we're going to see that other videos that show up are Dr. Jones's, and other videos that show up, our title and thumbnail stand out. If we look at this, very bright. It's got red. Everything is really big. If we scroll down, this is really dull. This doesn't look professional. And that's why Dr. Jones was able to stand out against him. In addition to that, if we scroll down again, we look at this one, same thing. It's not that bright. A lot of things here. It's crowded. Doesn't really capture somebody's eye. So Dr. Jones looks like the professional choice here, and you need to be doing the same exact thing. You should never make a title. You should never make a thumbnail without first doing a search for that topic and making sure you were actually going to show up. Because if you fail to do this, what's going to end up happening, you're going to spend hours, and I'm sure you've done this before, creating a YouTube video just to get nobody to watch it because you didn't focus on the packaging. Because guess what? Before I ever click into this video, I need to first look at the title and the thumbnail and say, hey, this is something I actually want to watch. And if you ignore that in your content, you are not going to grow. Now, I did want to call out something here with Metricool because Metricool makes this incredibly easy. If you're thinking, Rob, how on earth am I going to take advantage of all my different competitors and keep track of what they're doing? Metricool's competitor tracker makes this incredibly easy. In fact, I wanted to show this to you. You literally come in here, you can add in all of your different competitors, and then you can come into video list all right here. And this will literally show you immediately what videos are getting the most views. If I look at this right here, I could see that from the last few days, this video, 20,000, this video, 22,000. So if I was going to make a video today on YouTube, I'm not because I'm going live, I would come over here, I would look at this, and I would build my videos based on the titles here and based on the topics here. And again, as a reminder, this makes this incredibly easy to do. It takes a lot of the work out, and you could get started with Metricool today at the pinned comment. You get 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert. It's an absolute no-brainer. Now, in addition to that, we need to get to change number 5. And this is where we're really going to begin to talk about what you actually need to do in your video and in your content. But first, I need a little sip of water. Okay, so now you've chosen the right niche. You've chosen the right topic. You're going to make content in the right format, be it a short, be it a live, be it a long form video. You've also decided before you sit down to make a video, what your title is going to be, what your thumbnail is going to be, and how you are going to stand out when somebody does a search or somebody's comparing multiple videos on the same exact topic. Now, what we need to get into is how you determine your video length, how you create your video hook, the 45 to 90 second rehook rule, long form content, how you should actually be front loading the first 50%, and short form, how you need to end on a high note. So let's go through all these things step by step. When it comes to video length, here's what you need to do. You need to come over here, click on analytics, click on trends. Let's say I was going to make a video about the TikTok algorithm. I would come over here, I would type in TikTok algorithm. Now from here, I want to look at what people are watching. And this works both for videos and for shorts. So if I look at what people are watching right here, I can see very quickly that this video, 600,000 views, 19 minutes long. This video, 25,000 views, 24 minutes long. This video, 11 minutes, 50,000 views. So these are some of the top performing videos here. This video also right here, 455,000 views. So what I'm noting is that I need to make a video that's at least at 11 minutes long here. And I might even want to go up to 19 minutes long. If I come over to YouTube Shorts, we could look at this. We could see this video, 5.8 million views, 46 seconds. This video, 47,000 views almost, 47 seconds. So clearly, if I wanted to make a short on this topic, I would do it around the 40 to 50 second range. Basically, you want to make sure that your length is appropriate compared to your competitors' videos. You never want to make your video way longer than theirs, and you never want to make your video way shorter than theirs. You just want to kind of match that, because here's the deal. YouTube classifies people not only on the type of content that they watch, but also the length of content. So people that watch hour-long videos get shown more hour-long videos. People that watch 5-minute videos get shown more 5-minute videos, and so on and so forth. When it comes to your video hook, you need to understand something. This is the most important part of your actual video, not of the title, not of the topic, not of all that stuff. What you need to be focused on is you need to make sure that in a short, the first 3 seconds is going to be engaging and is going to get somebody to continue to want to watch the rest of the video. On your long form content, it's going to be your first 30 seconds. And you should be putting, with the actual video itself, 80% of your effort into the hook. In addition to that, you need to re-hook people every 45 to 90 seconds. I'm not sure if you've noticed that I've actually been doing this on this live. If you've watched my content before, I'm sure that you've noticed that I do it there. Every 45 to 90 seconds, and you want to vary when you do this. Don't do it every 45 seconds. Don't do it every 90 seconds. You want to switch when you're actually doing it. You want to go through and tell people what's coming next. You want to go through and tell people what you're going to do in the future or what's going to come in the future, because that stops them from going and doing something else. You got to realize something. Most people, and this is probably you right now, are on their phone watching this right here. Guess what? You just heard the dog barking in the background. Maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe I need a sip of water. Maybe somebody calls me, texts me, I get an email for work. There's so many other different distractions going on that you need to make sure you keep reminding people why they want to keep watching that video. Now, when it comes to long form content, you need to make sure that you front load the first 50%. You want to make sure the first 50% of every video you make is delivering. You can slow it down towards the end. Think about it like a movie. If you sat down at the movies, or if you started reading a book, let's say, but honestly, any format of anything, on a date, having a conversation, if the first half of it was really good, you're going to be a lot more easily inclined to just continue through the second half of it, right? Most people will. It's just you kind of have momentum. You're just going to finish it out. Same exact thing with YouTube. If you can get them really hooked in the first 50% of the video, you can kind of put whatever you want in the last 50%. When it comes to short form, though, you want to make sure that you end on a high note. With short form, you want to just deliver on the promise of the video, end the video. It should end immediately right after that. And again, these are the biggest things that I would focus on with videos and your actual video. Now, when it comes to the best times to post on YouTube right now, and again, we're going to get into Q&A in just a little bit. I just have a few more slides, a few more learnings to get through, and then we'll get into that Q&A where I could look at your guys' channels, I could give you one-on-one advice, all that good jazz. But the best times to post on YouTube right now needs to be something you test. I would try at 11 a.m., I would try 3 p.m., I would try 6 p.m. Or if you have the analytics for this, if you come into your analytics, and then you click on audience right here and you scroll down a little bit, this will show you when most of your viewers are online. This is a really easy way for you to be able to figure out when you should be posting. Make sure you post though when most of your viewers are online, ideally the first time slot. In fact, if we look here, we could see the first for me is 10, the second is 11. That's why I'm live right now. It's 11:25. That's why I didn't go live earlier this morning, because only some of you would have been online. That's why I didn't go live later in the day, because only some of you would have been online. Most people think, Rob, I don't want to do that because my ideal audience isn't online. They're at school, they're at work. I think you'd be surprised about what people are doing when they're at school or when they're at work, because that's when a lot of people watch content, funny enough. That being said, if we come to the next thing, I did want to go through a few other features that cause growth, because again, these things really matter. First and foremost, call to action. You need a call to action in every single video that you make. I want to actually show you the difference in growth, whether you add a call to action or you don't. If I come into my content right here and we come to my most viewed shorts, let's come over to these right here. We come to this video, 1.5 million views. If I look at how many subscribers I got from this, I got over 30,000 subscribers from one video. Now, if we look at another video, let's say this video right here, around 1.1 million views, what you're going to notice is I got way less subscribers. I only got 2,000 subscribers. You would think based off of this, let's just do some simple math. If 1.5 million got me 30,000 subscribers, then you would think for every 500,000 views I got, I should get 10,000 subscribers, but this video didn't. And the only difference between those two videos is the video that got me a lot of subscribers had a call to action. And I really regret this because I'd probably be closer to 1 million subscribers if I put a call to action in every single one of my videos. So please don't make the same mistake that I made. Learn from my mistake, and it's going to help you grow quicker. Now, in addition to that, external traffic really matters. This is something not a lot of people are talking about right now. But if you go over to Google and you type in something like how to grow on YouTube, you are now going to see short videos. And guess what? Shorts are showing up here. And this really matters. Why does this really matter? Because in the past, YouTube didn't want you bringing traffic from outside of YouTube over to YouTube, but now they really like that. In fact, again, if we come into analytics, I come into advanced mode, and I'm really showing you guys everything here. And I come into traffic source right here. If we look, we can see that my views have been consistent, right? I've been getting a good amount of views for a really long time on YouTube now. If we look at 90 days, even if we go last 365, we could see that my views have actually increased in the second half of this year. Now, if we click on external right here, you could see this is driving a lot of the growth. I used to only get like 1,000 views a day from this. Now it's over 5,000 views a day. And here is how I'm doing this, and it's why I'm doing this. In fact, this is one of the secrets for how I grew this channel so quickly. So what you see on this channel is that I'm uploading content on YouTube. What you don't see on this channel is that I also have a TikTok for it. If we come over to TikTok, Rob the AI guy, over 100,000 followers. In fact, this video I uploaded a few days ago is over 6 million views. Guess what? A lot of those people then find the YouTube channel. If we come over to Instagram, we could see the same exact thing. The Instagram isn't as big. It's at 7,400 followers right now, but I started this just a few days ago, and this is growing like a weed. In fact, this video over 500,000 views. And again, guess what's happening? People are coming from Instagram. People are coming from TikTok. They're finding this YouTube channel, and it's causing a lot of growth. Now, again, what I wanted to share with you is that Metricool makes it incredibly easy for you to be able to manage multiple different platforms. In fact, if you come over here, you could post to Facebook, you could post to Instagram, you could post to LinkedIn, to TikTok, to YouTube Shorts, and other platforms if you wanted to add them all from one place. Again, Metricool makes it incredibly easy to be able to figure out who your competitors are on YouTube, stay on top of the trends, but also to be able to create content on other platforms without having to put in a lot of work so you can grow your YouTube channel with external traffic, because it's one of the most important things right now. So again, if you want to get started with Metricool today, I got you 30 days free access to any of their premium plans with code Robert. Check out the link in the pinned comment in order to actually use this. And then the last thing, you need to make sure you are building community. I cannot emphasize this enough. If we come over to this other YouTube channel right here, we could come in here, and now it's 67,400 views, and come into community, and I sort by responded to. I have literally responded to hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands and maybe tens of thousands of comments. In fact, I do this every single morning. I do the same thing on my main channel. I get a lot of comments on the main channel, so I just try to get through as many as I can. But this is something that you guys need to make sure that you're doing, because it's going to build community. Look at what ends up happening. People comment back. People come back to my channel, and this tells the YouTube algorithm that my channel is growing. Now, a few other things I did want to talk about. Again, we're going to get into Q&A here in just a few minutes. Is one, audience insights and trends. You need to pay attention to this. You need to know what your audience is watching. You need to know what things are trending amongst them. And it's very easy to figure this out in your analytics. Secondly, look at your retention. Look at the retention of your hook. Look at the retention of your content. Study what things cause people to drop off, and don't do those things ever again. And third, click-through rate. These are the only things that you should be worried about. Audience insights, audience trends, retention. Do people actually stay? If they don't stay, why is that? And are people clicking? And if they're not clicking, why is that? And I literally gave you the keys in this video for how you could solve all of those things. Now, at this point, I do want to get into Q&A. So please, if you guys have any questions, leave your questions in the chat right here. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to go through the chat, go through all of these questions, because I really want to help you guys and help you guys one-on-one here. So let's see. Grow with Kylie. Good to see you. Let's see. Again, any questions, guys, please leave a comment. Awesome. Really good to see Sri Lanka in the house, Queens in the house, Jersey, Texas, Michigan, Vancouver, Milwaukee. I was actually supposed to go to Milwaukee, but my flight got canceled. I was pretty upset about that. Awesome. Cool. Added to best. So you say that you were putting out 2 videos a day, 3 live streams a week. This might honestly be too much. If those 2 videos are long form videos, that might mean that you're posting too much. 3 live streams a week is great. I would just make sure those 2 videos a day. I would probably not post on the days that you go live unless you're posting shorts. I wouldn't post a long form video because your long form content will show as a live. One thing that I would say for you as a tip, I'm going to share my screen again. Give me 1 second. Cool. If we come over to Mike right here, he actually has gotten a lot of his growth from live streams. If we come over here, we'll go by popular. I would make sure that you have these live buttons right here in your thumbnail because that helps increase the odds that people keep watching your video even after you're done being live. How do you get a lot of subscribers? Again, this is very, very simple. Getting subscribers on YouTube is just literally, what is my audience interested in? Make content on that, add a call to action. It is that simple. I just went through literally the 5 steps, the 5 secrets to the YouTube algorithm right now, showed you guys proof of how I use these on a new channel so that you can actually learn from this. Awesome. I really appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Bob, right. This is good. Make sure, so if you're doing reaction content, again, you want to make sure that you're reacting to the most popular thing possible. You need to be really honed in on the views per hour of what you're actually reacting to. And you need to make sure that the key words of that show. Also, I would make sure that the thumbnail is whatever you're reacting to, don't have it focus on you. Why is YouTube breaking a law creator videos since 3 weeks rapidly? It just might be that people aren't interested in that content right now. To the person reading this, pray you become a successful YouTuber. Listen, I pray you guys become successful YouTubers too. Mix woodwork wonders. Cool. I am going to share my screen. I am going to walk through this and let's find your channel. So mix woodwork wonders. Come over here. Okay, so if I come over to your long form content, the first thing I would call out, your content's way too short. Make sure your content is at least 8 minutes long. In addition, and I'll show you a perfect example of this. We come over here to 5 woodworking tips for beginners. If I come over here, and by the way, your camera presence and stuff like that looks great. Again, I think it's just like the beginning here that you're actually screwing up. If I come over here and 5 woodworking tips for beginners. Look at this. So like this is showing something. It says game changer, 17 minutes. Your video is 2 minutes. Again, this is showing something way bigger text. These videos are just way longer, have a way better thumbnail. So you need to fix those things if you want people to actually click on your video. Cool. Let's see. I put out 2 lives, 2 to 3 videos and shorts every day in between. Does this sound like a good idea? Again, Deez, I think you might be posting too much here. 2 lives, 2 to 3 videos, shorts every day. Actually, no, that should be fine. So like if I just want to make sure that you're not posting all this in one day. So long as you're not doing this all in one day, this is good. This is a good amount of posting. When to share, not sure what you mean by that. Having a hard time getting 4,000 watch time. Again, you need to, if you have a hard time doing this, you need to focus on 2 things. One, you probably need to increase the length of your content. And 2, you're not uploading content that your audience is actually interested in. AKA, you're not recreating videos that have a really high views per hour. Green Boater, actually, I'm glad that you said this. So when is the best time to ask for a like, share, subscribe? If it's a long form piece of content, I would do it at like the 3 to 5 minute mark. So people are already hooked in, people are already getting value, and then you're asking for it. If it's a short, I would do it at the end. How to reach 10K subscribers. Again, this all comes back to how many views per hour do the topics have that you are uploading on? Are you adding a call to action? And are you making a title and a thumbnail that are better than that video. My views have dropped almost nothing in the last month. Shorts aren't getting shorts feed at all. Let me see. Bay the Truth Forever. Let me just find your channel here, and then cool. I am going to share this. We'll go through this quick. Again, guys, if you have questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the chat. I'd love to go through everybody's here. So we come over here, we can look at this. So again, immediately I know what the issue is here. The titles that you're using here just have like people aren't watching this, right? So like from halfway house to podcast, my early morning hustle, if I come over here and I do a search for this, nobody's watching content on this. So you need to, again, only create content that is based on things that are getting a high views per hour. Like YouTube literally shows you right here that nobody's interested in this. So you should have never made that video, and I would have never used that title, and I would have never done that. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important that is. Congratulations, Broken Timber. I am actually going to go through and I am going to subscribe to you. Again, guys, if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below. And Broken Timber, I just subscribed to you. I think you're at 32 now. 31 or 32, something like that. You're at 32 now. Good to see you here, Doc. Awesome. Kingdom Vision Studios having trouble. Kingdom Studio, where is it? Kingdom Vision Studio. Having trouble getting views on my lives or long form. Sorry. Cool. I am going to pull this up. Nico Tech, I see you. I will get to you next. Again, guys, questions, concerns, want me to look at your channel, leave them in the comments. And as a reminder, you can get started with Metricool today. 30 days free access to any of their premium plans. It's going to help you get more external traffic. It's going to help you find out what your competitors are doing more easily. And you could get started today, 30 days free access at the pinned comment. Now, if we come over here and I look at you right here. Okay, so it doesn't look like this video has a custom thumbnail on it, which is definitely going to hurt it. Again, if I come over here and I grab this topic and then I do a search for this, what I'm going to notice is that this right here, these videos look totally different, right? So like what was found inside the empty tomb, the resurrection of Jesus explained, these actually go through and are on like a different angle here. This video doesn't have a custom thumbnail, which is going to be hurting it. But again, I would have just like gone based off of this, like Jesus's tomb explained the evidence and the story. I would have used that same title, except put in parentheses like shocking truths or something like this. And then I would have tried to make a thumbnail that looks more like this. And that would have increased the odds that you end up actually stealing some of his traffic, which is what I would have aimed for here. In addition to that, if we come over here and I do a search for this topic right here, I am going to bet that there's actually not a huge audience for this. So when God turns your pain into power, again, there's just not a large audience for this. This is on something totally different. If we look at the other video on this same topic right here, it just didn't do well. So I would have chosen a different topic here. Again, one of the number one things I'm seeing here is just poor topic choice is killing a lot of your guys' channels. Again, back to what I was saying before, 99% of the work doing well on YouTube has nothing to do with your video, has everything to do with the topic that you're choosing, the title you're making, the thumbnail you're making. Cool. Nico Tech, let me pull you up quick. Nico Tech, I actually cannot find your channel. If you could put the link to your channel in the comments, I'll try to come back to it. Coming up on 16K, trying to branch out topics. So this is what I would do, especially in the gaming niche. You're going to have to ride trends, right? You're going to have to ride waves. I would like whatever game is getting the most views for your competitors or whatever lore content, just keep hammering that, keep doing that. Eventually it's going to die. People will move to the next thing and then you move to the next thing. I see this in the gaming niche all the time. In fact, you see this with a lot of big streamers. That's why they bounce from like topic to topic to topic, because they're just staying focused on whatever the audience is actually interested in. Priscilla, what are you having trouble with when it comes to thumbnails? Again, I would just look at the thumbnails that your competitors are making, just make a different variation of that. Try to improve it, try to make it better, try to make things bigger, try to make things brighter. That's what really makes a successful thumbnail. Quick question. Notice my views dropping after initial growth towards 4,000 watch hours. What could be happening? Again, anytime your views drop on YouTube, there is a disconnect between what you are posting about and what your audience is interested in. Again, you might think that it's your camera. You might think it's your microphone. You might think it's your haircut. All these different things. It's not. It's just that you are not posting about something that your audience is interested in. Veterans Reels. Let's see if I can find you. Cool. I was able to find you. Cool. Slots. I was actually at the Hard Rock last night and lost my shirt, which is no good. Cool. So if we come over here, if we look at this, like the thrill of Triple Diamond, if I come over here and I do a search for this, and by the way, I would strongly suggest Veterans Reels that you start going live when you're at the casino because lives do really, really well in your niche. But we come over here, we do a search for this. What you're going to notice, and this is a perfect example, you see how your thumbnail right here looks dull compared to this thumbnail? You want to make sure that you brighten up the colors, you brighten things up because it will actually make it stick out much better. In addition to that, if we look at this right here, this guy is a way better title. I put $100 in 3 double diamond machines, and this happened. That invokes curiosity. It makes somebody want to wonder what's happening, and it makes them want to actually click. In addition to that, I would have chosen a thumbnail thing that showed like a jackpot or something big or something like that. Again, it's going to increase curiosity and get people to click more on your video. Mm-mm-mm. I can't find your channel. If you put the link to it, I could try to check it out. My niche is fact, mystery, history, science fact shorts. What hashtags should I use? Again, hashtags is not what I would focus on. You need to be focused on niching down to one of those, ideally the biggest one, and creating the content with the most views per hour. That is the only thing you should be focused on. Hashtags really don't mean anything at all. Awesome. I am continuing to go through here. And YouTube partner already. Try to keep audience to grow much more full. Will be 4 years uploading on YouTube. That's September. Awesome. That's awesome. I'm really glad you've stuck with it. Listen, that's a really important thing also. Okay, so again, this right here, I have no certain topics. I just do what comes naturally. This is what I was addressing earlier in the live. I would strongly suggest that you never do that. You should be focused on what the audience wants to see and upload that content. Otherwise, you are completely ignoring how the YouTube algorithm works. You are completely ignoring what YouTube actually wants to show people. Cool. Any other questions? Let me know in the pinned comment. Let me see. Travel and trucking with Jay. So I can't find your channel. Again, if you could put the link in here, I could pull it up quick. But again, guys, keep the questions coming. Yes, this is the most important thing. Literally, just focus on that. I can't emphasize this enough. Focus on this. Focus on what the audience is interested in. Make content about what the audience is interested in, and you will instantly get more views. You will instantly get more reach. You will instantly be creating content that YouTube actually wants to show to people. This is the number one mistake. This is the number one mistake that anybody makes. And this is actually the biggest mistake across all niches, across all content types. Doesn't matter if it's faceless content, doesn't matter what kind of content you're making. Great question right here. The best thumbnails are made with Photoshop, like bar none. I know people use Canva, I know people use AI, but you can't manipulate the colors and change things the same way that you can in Photoshop. Professionally done thumbnails in Photoshop are definitely the best. How to increase subscribers. Again, very, very simple for this. 1, choose the right niche. 2, choose the right topic of content. What are the people in that niche interested in? 3, choose the right format for that niche. and then just make a better video. The title needs to be better. The thumbnail needs to be better. The hook needs to be better. And this is really easy to do because they've already made content and YouTube's already told you if they like that content, if the audience like that content, then you just make a better version of that. I would recommend you do not make thumbnails on your phone. I would do that on a computer. It's gonna be putting you at like a severe disadvantage if you're only making thumbnails on the phone. Great question here. How does uploading shorts affect my long form videos and views now? It doesn't. Um, doesn't negatively. It could affect it positively. So if people watch your shorts and they find your channel that way, then maybe they find your long form that way. In fact, I'm really curious. Everybody that's in here, let me know in the pinned comment, how'd you find my content? Were you searching for it? Did you see a long form video? Did you see a short? What actually got you to come here? I think that this will be really good information for Doc here. Yes, 100% mix them both. Absolutely. So long as the audience is watching both of them, which I guarantee in your niche, they definitely are, do both. Uh, so I haven't seen a huge again, this kind of depends on the niche here. So like if I was trying to sell you guys like stock tips, right? Or like accounting advice, um, you wouldn't want to watch a faceless channel on that. You want to see a human create that content. I haven't seen it make a huge difference with um, how many views you get or how much growth you get, but I have seen this make a huge difference with how much money you make. In fact, most people that make a lot of money on YouTube show your face. Most of the time, it's not faceless channels because, again, there's just no trust there. Cool. So it looks like a lot of you guys are finding me from long form, friend recommended, long form, long form. Any advice on prison stories? Again, I would talk about like the most popular things. Sam Bankman-Fried's in prison. Diddy's in prison. Focus on big things, a big mobster that got killed in prison, like whatever it is that people are interested in when it comes to that, what that guy, Brian Kohlberg, whatever his name is, what he's doing in prison, because he's been freaking out in his cell and stuff like that. You want to make sure that it's about something people are already watching, something that's really popular. What was Aaron Hernandez doing in prison? Like all these big names, I would focus on that, or big stories, I would focus on that. Again, did the algorithm change? Algorithm is the audience. What it sounds like to me is one of two things happened. Either one, your audience just isn't as interested in the topic or format that you're still uploading in, or there's more people uploading about that topic and format. So the views just kind of get spread across a lot more people. Again, I went through on this. So like Riot Zone, I will literally, let me see if I can find your channel here. So I can't even find your channel. So if you put the link to your channel, I could probably try to find it. It completely depends on your niche. Again, you need to do searches for the topics that you want to post about and see if there's long form content or if there's shorts showing up and see which one gets more views. This is totally different depending on the niche. Like on this YouTube channel you guys are watching right now, I get a ton of views from shorts. My AI channel, which is kind of the purpose of this live, me showing you how I started a new channel, that channel only gets content views on long form, doesn't get any on shorts. Just different on the niche. Great question right here. How can I rank my videos that have high search volume, low competition? You just need that keyword that people are searching for in the title, in the description 2 times, in the tags 5 times, and in the transcript of the video. Okay, so 4,000 watch hours on Vegas videos. Again, you just need to focus on the most popular things in Vegas. Most popular restaurants, most popular shows, most popular clubs. You need to just talk about the things that people really care about, that people are really focused on. It's not that it's hard to get 4,000 watch hours, it's that you're just not posting about something people want to spend 4,000 hours watching. Cool. Let me see. Is there a standard protocol in creating thumbnails? So not necessarily. Again, things should be big. Things should be bright. this is really subjective. Like if you were trying to compete with like me, you'd have a harder time making thumbnails because I've spent years making thumbnails. But depending on your niche, you might be competing with people that make just horrible thumbnails. So just making a little bit better of a thumbnail, you will skyrocket your growth. Um, Cool. I am going to answer like one or two more questions. I am just going to choose them randomly. And then, unfortunately, I have to get back to work. But let me know in the pinned comment, or sorry, in the chat, what questions you guys have. We could go through them. And then I will have to end this live. If you guys want me to go live again soon, let me know in the chat also. And again, as a reminder, I wanted to thank today's video sponsor, Metricool. If you go to the pinned comment, you could sign up for 30 days free access to any of Metricool's premium plans with code Robert. It's a no-brainer. It's going to help you grow faster on YouTube. If you're not using it and your competitors are, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Great question here. How does one recognize when viewers' interests change, really, even when just maintaining focus? So, what you're going to notice is you will just notice, like from your competitors and from your videos, like, oh, this topic's starting to get more views. It's kind of just pattern recognition. You could also use ChatGPT if you take a screenshot and then upload it in ChatGPT and say, hey, of these videos, what does it look like this audience is interested in? It will actually tell you that. Let me see. Okay, another great question here. Do I have any insights on the collaboration feature on YouTube rolling out? I do not. YouTube tends to roll out features like really, really slowly. So I try to not talk about new features on YouTube until they're already rolled out, because otherwise what ends up happening is like I might have it, you might have it, 5 other people in the chat don't have it, and then they get mad at me and they hate me. So I kind of just try to avoid talking about stuff like this. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. I'll start going live more if that's what you guys want. But other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's probably late for some of you guys. I know some of you are probably at work or at school or wherever you are. Again, I really appreciate you guys. And check out Metricool. It's really going to help you grow on YouTube. And I will see you guys soon. I'm going to upload again tomorrow. Have a good one.